Piping hot, popping like popcorn, it's all mine.
Please select a mission.
Deixa eu ver quais missões paralelas eu tenho. Tiro ovos na plataforma, isso é bem danes.
Please select a mission.
Essas missões aqui eu não tô fazendo porque elas são literalmente não tão importantes. Essa aqui é. Pediu helicóptero pra mim.
Roger. Good job. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Agora.
Gaining altitude.
Commencing platform construction. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Heading to Central Africa. Deploying.
Proxy wars without end. Essa tradução tá mais ou menos certa, mas é.
The CFA are assembling an armored column to the north of Nova Braga Airport. Your job is to wipe them out. Listen to the tape for the contract details. Just be aware that the column's commander served with 5 Commando and later made a name for himself in South Africa's 32 Battalion. He's a hardened veteran, so don't take it lightly. Boss, I have a report from the intel team. The targets are now on the move. I've sent their predicted route to your iDroid. Check your map. Be careful down there, boss.
The map has been updated.
So what kick-started the Third Boy's powers? If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty good guess. When the plane experienced the first anomaly, it gave an accurate report of its position to a control tower, due north of the Black Sea, 125 miles east of Kiev. Dead south on the Black Sea is Cyprus's Green Line. So the plane's position was directly north of the hospital where you'd been asleep for 9 years. And this anomaly was reported at exactly the same time that you woke up. The plane was enveloped in flame from the inside out. The fuselage burnt to ashes. There were no survivors, at least not publicly admitted. Your thoughts?
Trava não.
Synchronicity with the boy's psyche and were amplified inside his brain. That would have been more than enough to trigger his abilities. Your rage was like a big bang in his head, blowing the lid off his powers. The boy was then secretly moved to the lab outside of Moscow where Volgin was...
Boss, we have new targets. Check your iDroid for the details.
He was awakened. Volgin became the man on fire, hell-bent on getting revenge on you. His instincts led him straight to you. Skullface knew Volgin from Operation Snake Eater, or perhaps from even before. Monitoring this pair of extraordinaries, he discovered the hospital and sent his assassin and XOF. Skullface was probably watching the situation from close by. Then, realizing how useful these two test subjects could be, he approached them. Reacting to Skullface's thirst for revenge, this time the boy let Skullface's will control Volgin. Volgin, at times driven by personal revenge, at times through Skullface's will, kept on moving, though his body was little more than dead meat. Perhaps there were moments where even your thoughts affected him as well. But without the boy's power, it was like the plug had been pulled from the socket. Everything was powered by anger, malice, revenge. This is how the end of the report sums things up. The boy and the man on fire were originally test subjects of paranormal research for military applications, like telekinetically controlling the leader of an enemy nation and making him launch a nuke,
Sim.
stopping the heart of someone on the wrong
Nice work,
side
boss.
of Berlin,
The targets are almost history.
experimenting with latent human abilities. We were used as tools of the Cold War. The boy's only crime was being told he needed gifts. But he was sacrificed on the altar of war. His life reduced to slavery under other people's wills. Turned into a living weapon with no will of his own. Eventually, the only emotion he could feel must have been the desire to get revenge for the hand he'd been dealt. Boss, it's you that awakened the boy's powers. But there's more to it than that. I guess the anger emanating from you was something he could truly relate to.
Go get him!
Not good. Don't let your buddy die, Snake. I'm pulling them out of there.
Buddy departing area of operations.
Boss, what happened? Boss!
The CFA are assembling an armored column to the north of Nova Braga Airport. Your job is to wipe them out. Nice work, boss. The targets are almost history. Just one target left.
Que isso? Não, acho que não. Acho que não.
Please select a deployment point. Dispatch requested.
Boss, that's a serious injury. It won't heal on its own. You'll need to treat it with first aid.
Development complete.
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
Caramba.
The CFA are assembling an armored column to the north of Nova Braga Airport. Your job is to wipe them out.
Please select a deployment point. Dispatch requested.
Nice work, boss. The targets are almost history.
Area of operations. Enemy presence detected.
Tô na raiva, tô na raiva, tô na raiva, tô na raiva.
The CFA are assembling an armored column to the north of Nova Braga Airport. Your job is to wipe
Please
them out.
select a deployment point. Dispatch requested. Departing area of operations.
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
The CFA are assembling an armored column to the north of Nova Braga Airport. Your job is to wipe them out.
Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence shortly.
Nice work, boss. The targets are almost history.
Cala a boca! Cala a boca! Cala a boca!
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
Cala a boca! Cala a boca! Cala a boca! Cala a boca!
The CFA are assembling an armored column to the north
Cala a
of Nova
boca!
Braga Airport. Your job is to wipe them out.
Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence.
We're almost history. Just one target left.
Please supplies requested.
That's an enemy gunship. Don't try to take down a gunship from the front. You won't win in a head-to-head shootout. Try to get behind it and take it down with missiles.
Map has been updated.
Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss. Good. You completed the objective. Now get out of there.
Updated.
Good. Good dog.
Clouds approaching. Please select a landing zone. The support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Exfiltrated.
That's it. You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
Por que eles insistem em falar da porra dos hambúrguer do caso Hero?
Boss, as we suspected, the mastermind behind the kid's escape was Eli. It's hard to believe, but apparently he'd been plotting an armed uprising against us. He could be hiding something else too. Ocelot's gonna press him for answers. Get back here as quick as you can.
Mother Base dos Ducks.
I told you, your father's not here.
They're back.
Yes, they're back. But don't get any bright ideas. Your quarters are under full surveillance. Your weapons privileges have been suspended. No more uprisings for you. Did you really think it would be that easy, Commander? You'll get your boys back. Hell, even see the boss too.
First, I need to know what you sent them to do
They wanted to leave.
to their homelands.
They wanted to go home. That's all.
So they were just homesick then.
Not quite.
Ele tem puta no sotaque.
Military warlords, PFs, the armies that murdered their families. Cousins, brothers, parents. They all had someone they wanted to kill. I told them, last chance to face the world with no regrets.
Last chance.
You better be ready for your drag back here. Ready to face the world as enemies.
No!
Not you! Goodbye, Father. I don't need you anymore.
Pô, eles foram embora que nem o Eva.
Was Ralph really an accident? Or did Eli just rig it to stir up the boys? Either way, he had to have been planning for this all along. Bidding farewell to the world.
Solid, liquid, cycle, solidus, screaming, prey. Prey mantis.
Boss, we're looking for the kids in Sahalanthropus, but there's still no sign of them. We don't know if the chopper pilot is alive either. What have we gone and put in the hands of those kids? We don't know how bad this is until we find them. Also, regarding our concerns about Eli, I finished looking into whether or not he's a product of that project. I have an answer. I put it on tape. Give it a listen. Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
Development project has been added. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Marker placed. Marker removed.
Vou escutar a fita cassete enquanto eu vou fazendo essa merda aqui.
You know, when you brought back all the child soldiers who escaped, Eli knew they'd returned. Needless to say, nobody said a word to him. I guess they got a message to him somehow. Eli wasn't put in the corner in timeout. He was locked up in that room, completely cut off from the outside world. Then how'd he find out? There's only one possibility I can think of. The Soviet Union has been researching military applications for psi phenomena. Psi? Things like psychokinesis and ESP, extrasensory perception. You mean moving objects without touching them? Knowing what card somebody's holding up? Psychic powers? Come on. I thought that was just another bunch of disinformation aimed at the West. Just bear with me a second. One type of ESP is telepathy. It's the ability to know another person's thoughts through non-verbal means. You're saying Eli read our minds? It's the only idea that doesn't involve someone getting to him. Ocelot. Look, psi research isn't some hocus pocus. It's all evidence-based, scientific... There's gotta be another explanation. Maybe one of the kids stuck a note to your back. I hope that's the case. But I am convinced that they have, or Eli has, a connection to some force we have yet to identify. You better watch yourself, boss. How am I supposed to do that? If he is depending on something for help, well, that's his Achilles heel. If you can figure out what that something is, you might be able to use it against him. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, and the medical team is looking after the kids left on Mother Base. For the moment, they don't seem too panicked. But boss, get this. Eli got those kids to plot their armed uprising as a diversion. all so he could steal Sahelanthropus and escape. That brat got us good. Set us up and knocked us down. And then there's that mystery kid who was with Eli. Those two working together, I'd say things won't be over for a long time yet.
Desistir, foda-se.
Please select a landing zone. Landing zone.
Roger.
Good dog. Good dog. Good dog.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Good dog.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Sidewalk list updated.
Gaining altitude. About Eli hijacking Sahelanthropus. We know how he got it moving. It was Emmerich.
Please select
He used the kids in the staff living quarters to carry out his repairs. We got the details on tape. You're gonna want to hear this.
deploying.
Out ahead!
It's them.
Can you hear me?
Nossa, não saiu não.
Are you okay? Skulls. Listen, I miss you their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls.
Supplies?
We cannot lose Code Talker.
Supply drop complete.
Tá, no escuro é meio difícil de enxergar, te falar a real.
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose code talkers.
Supplies requested.
Apertei.
Snake, talk to me!
Snake! Snake!
So that noticias their work. We'll be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. You cannot lose Cold Talker.
Supply drop complete.
Eu ia tomar no cu de todo jeito.
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
Skulls. So that noticias their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
What is wrong with you?
Matar o velho. Isso acontece. Na última vez que eu fiz essa missão, literalmente foi muito difícil.
Code Talker is dead. Now there's no hope of saving him.
Sim, eu entendi.
So that noticias their work.
Trava não!
Send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
What is wrong with you?
Supply drop complete.
Code Talker is dead. Now there's no hope of saving him.
Esse jogo tira eu do sério, velho.
So that noticias their work.
E quando trava...
Send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Caralho, eu tô vivo? Eu apertei, velho, mas o Snake não foi porque eu tava apertando pra frente.
Hey, quit kidding around.
Eu não tô brincando, Ocelot. Eu não tô brincando e isso tá me deixando com raiva.
Airdrops requested.
We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Se o Snake não tá em pé, eles não vão me deixar em
Boss,
paz.
come in. Boss?
So that misses their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Te vi de longe. Eu cliquei!
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake?
So that misses their work.
A drop supply.
Be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Supply drop complete.
What is wrong with you?
Coitado do D-Dog.
Code Talker is dead. Now there's no hope of saving.
É maravilhoso jogar.
So that misses their work.
Trava não!
Send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Por que não aparece Quick Time Event pra me defender de um ataque tão merda como esse, velho? O jogo é cheio de Quick Time Events.
So that misses their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Supply drop complete.
Nossa senhora, aí o jogo tá me zoando. Mesmo estando longe eu tô meio...
Boss, come in. Boss?
Nossa!
So that misses their work.
Select a drop point.
We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Supply drop complete.
O Celeste nem fala mais nada.
So that mist is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now.
Please,
Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Supply drop complete.
Porra, essa aí é mais tipo, eu achei que eu tinha destruído os dois.
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake?
So that mist is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Eu cliquei, velho.
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
So that mist is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We
Please.
cannot lose Code Talker.
Supply drop complete.
Porra, não tô vendo tempo pra eu ver.
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake?
Isso, eu realmente estou impaciente.
So that mist is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Supply drop complete.
What is wrong with you? Code Talker is dead. Now there's no hope of saving him.
So that mist is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Boss, what happened? Boss!
Essa missão é muito chata, velho.
Skulls. So that mist is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now.
Sucker
Boss,
Punch.
you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
dá pra revidar, eu revido. Quando o troço é impossível, não dá. Morri. Melhor, Snake. Por que eu tava agachado, velho?
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
So that mist is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now.
Supplies?
Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Supply drop complete.
Boss, what happened? Boss!
So that mist is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. Lose Code Talker.
Boss, what happened? Boss!
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
Please select a mission.
Não vou fazer isso. Nem isso, nem isso.
Please select a landing zone. Heading to Afghanistan. Deploying.
Vamos tirar minas? E aí, PH? Como é que você tá, cara? Vai fazer uma side-ops até aparecer a missão do Embrick ou sei lá o que. Até eu me acalmar.
What was your goal in having the children repair Sahelanthropus?
I just answered their questions. I had no idea they would actually try to fix it. I mean, can you imagine a child piloting it?
Oh, sure, easily.
It wouldn't work.
I bet it's just like riding a bike.
I said it didn't work.
Who did you try?
I didn't.
Did you put your son in it?
We never did that.
His name was, Hal, wasn't it? I thought you said you never saw his face. But you made him pilot Sahelanthropus. You used him in your experiments.
He wanted to get in. It was such a short time we had.
So he was with you.
We were happy.
You're still happy now. Changing your lies to suit the listener and getting by slipping through the cracks. Building layer upon layer of convenient stories until nothing means anything to you anymore. You're happy all the time because you don't even notice you're doing it. Think hard. Who are you really? You're not a victim, and you're not the silent majority. You're a perpetrator and a petty hypocrite. The real world doesn't make you suffer. It's the other way around. Boss, we've got the results of Eli's genetic tests. We can finally put this worry behind us.
We used the PCR technique and conducted DNA fingerprinting of the copied DNA sequences. Neither is mainstream science yet, but the concepts and procedures are sound. Both tests say there is 0% chance that the two of you are blood relatives, meaning the results are negative. He's not your son, nor is he your clone. He's just another person.
It was 12 years ago that Zero made plans to clone you. Eli's age and appearance certainly are a good fit. I admit the first time I saw him, I did a double take. But it looks like we were worried for nothing. Eli isn't your clone. Though you might still have one somewhere out there.
But if Eli isn't the boss's clone, why does he seem so obsessed with him? Not to mention having one hell of an attitude for his age.
I don't know. Learning the truth about himself, cursing the fact he's a clone, bearing a grudge against selfish adults, and coming to hate who he was cloned from. Big boss. If that were really the case, I could understand it. I might even feel a bit sorry for him. But no clone could have a totally different DNA fingerprint. And the test left no room for error. You yourself were there when we drew Eli's blood sample.
Come to think of it, when we went to OKB-0, he'd snuck onto a chopper and was there.
Yeah.
He was acting strange even then. Or actually from a little before that time.
That was exactly when we began these tests.
Maybe he suspected something when we drew the sample, not knowing what we were doing to him, and becoming mistrustful of us.
Hard to say. Eli's had an attitude problem from day one.
So what is he then?
Well, if he's gonna tell us that himself, we'll need to get him to open up more first.
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Okay, yes, control.
Gaining altitude.
Yahoo! 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 Yahoo!
Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Side ops list updated. Please select a landing zone. Heading to Central Africa. Deploying.
Eu não matei o jogo inteiro. Aí quando eu tô ficando puto, eu falo, foda-se, quer saber? Deixa no cu.
Wait for the Wolbachia to multiply in the larvae.
How is the disease transmitted? If it's carried by insects or rodents, then...
There is no intermediate host.
So...
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host. Most hatch and migrate to the lungs, but some are transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing in with saliva.
Saliva. Droplet transmission.
Sneezing, coughing. Any food or water containing infected saliva. It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms can resemble the early stages of a cold, making it easy to infect others.
Meaning a simple conversation would be enough to pass it on.
Complete.
All right, so
Analysis
what happens after the larvae migrate to the lungs?
Complete.
It is as I said before. They mature by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable symptoms appear in the host.
And by that point, it's too late. He's infected everyone else. It's one hell of a weapon you've created.
That is what Blag Anna wanted. Something that would spread easily.
Map has been updated.
In truth, he's not the reason. But we will discuss that another time.
The Wolbachia have multiplied. We're preparing to extract them and begin vaccinating. But is this really the only way? Sure, it'll prevent infection, but the cost... You gotta extract him?
Their vocal cords.
No. Tactical communication's the linchpin of what we do.
What if we were to ban the use of Kakongo?
Insufficient. First, there's no guarantee
Analysis complete.
that only the Kikongo strain is here.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis
There is the
complete.
matter of how the parasites
Analysis
lay
complete.
their eggs. Before they can copulate, they must be exposed to the pronunciation.
You gotta extract him.
of specific language for a period of time, like a container filling with water. But the duration between when the container is full and when the copulation actually begins varies from case to case. In other words, even if the infected stop speaking as a countermeasure, it may already be too late.
Analysis.
The only true solution is to prevent copulation through the Wolbachia, or by physically removing the affected tissue.
Do any anti-parasitics work?
It sounds as though you have already tried.
Yeah, subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Nothing. I have yet to find a medicine that can remove the parasites. At best, it temporarily covers their ears.
Why is that?
Because the parasites are companions to us. To remove them inevitably. The host. Companions. More than you think.
Analysis.
And this is why the human immune system cannot eliminate them.
Side ops list updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
He's coming too. Roger that. Extract him.
Sim.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Boss, get down. The enemy's sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Skullface, real name unknown. Born in Hungary, more specifically northern Transylvania after it reverted to Hungary from Romania. While he was young, the country allied with Germany as part of the Axis powers, but later during the war, it came under Soviet occupation. The Hungarians struggled for independence, but the Soviets came down. Hard. Just like he said, time and again the country was ruled by a foreign tongue. When he was a young boy, he lost his native tongue. The bedrock for any developing child. His country, his family, his face, his identity, everything was stolen from him. All he had left was his skull. Skullface first tried his hand at espionage during all the chaos from the war. Agents, military officials, and soldiers who operated out of Hungary during the war vanished over the course of several months. This Soviet spy hunt rocked the counter-intel world. Mysterious fatal illnesses, accidental deaths, drownings, people having strokes behind closed doors. Just like Stalin, no one knew who was behind it. But all you need to do was look for who had the motive. They were all taken out by a man without a face. And now we've got an idea of how he did it too. He got revenge for his people, but he wasn't finished. Skullface defected to the west, eventually ended up with the SAS. That's where he met Zero. It's possible
Roger.
he began planning this whole thing back then. It's hard to say. In any case, Zero made him his XO. He always did have a thing for oddballs. But this one was set to lead a unit no one else would know about. When Zero created Fox, he also formed XOF as a support team. An unconventional special forces unit designed to support Fox, make it stronger, with Skullface giving the orders. Zero never even told the boss about it, nor the CIA, naturally. If Fox was Zero's silver bullet, XOF was the recoil when he pulled the trigger, just like Newton's third law. While you were with Fox, Skullface was operating behind the scenes, sometimes as your backup, sometimes as a mole or a scout, sometimes as your cleanup crew. Fox's tail, making sure the mission succeeded and that you survived. We only have his word to go on, but Skullface's goal was revenge against those who'd use language to subjugate people. Those corrupting a people's identity by forcing a new tongue on them. Those using the power of language to control information. Naturally, that set his sights on Zero. To Zero, English was simply the most convenient code. But to Skullface, English was a parasite. And by eradicating it, he'd stop the world from being eaten away. If that didn't work, he was ready to see the world scorched by nuclear fire. To save language, culture, and race from annihilation, he was willing to overstep the hands of the doomsday clock.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Select unit. Staff select unit. Staff dismissed. Select unit. Staff dismissed. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff dismissed. Select unit. Staff dismissed. Select unit. Staff dismissed. Select unit. Staff assigned. 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 Select unit. Staff dismissed. Select unit. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Select unit.
Puxar ele.
Select unit. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned.
Yeah!
Select unit. Staff assigned.
Porra, tem mais aí que eu nem vi.
Select unit. Staff assigned. 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 Clouds approaching. Select unit. Staff assigned.
Caramba.
Select unit. Select unit. Staff dismissed. Select unit. Select unit. Select unit. Staff dismissed. Select unit. Staff assigned. Please select a landing zone. Deploying.
Those guerrilla fighters known as Mujahideen don't actually belong to a single organization. Afghanistan is a multi-ethnic country. You've got the Pashtuns, the Tajiks, Uzbeks, Hazaras, and each of them is split into their own tribes, large and small. Each ethnicity has several rebel organizations that their various tribes gather under. They're united under the banner of jihad. That doesn't mean they work like a single standing army. Just look at the area around Smasi Fort. A lot of Tajiks used to live there. They fled after the Soviets started their Scorched Earth campaign. With the area uninhabited, the Hamid fighters, who are Pashtun, decided to move in. The Hamids are based out of the city of Peshawar. We passed through it on the western edge of Pakistan. The Pashtun people have long lived in Afghanistan and western Pakistan. They used to travel back and forth frequently. Then Britain went and established the border that still stands today. The Hamid fighters get generous support from the Pakistani government. The government wants to use them to secure influence over Afghanistan. Their liaison with the Hamids is Inter-Services Intelligence, and behind the ISI, you have the CIA. That's probably how the honeybee ended up in the hands of the Hamid men.
That's the target.
Side ops list updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Nossa, vou enviar tudo embora, mano.
Boss, we have an emergency. There's been another outbreak of the vocal cord parasites on the base. Several men are dead. It started in the laboratory on the quarantine platform where the radiation leak occurred. I'd only just deployed the security team. I've sent in a rescue team to help, but they haven't returned. Boss, I need you on this. Come back to Mother Base ASAP. Here we go again. There's been another outbreak in the laboratory. The quarantine platform. We sent a team to investigate and recover the survivors, but they haven't returned.
There's nothing on the radio either. We got a backup team ready to go. Just give the order and
I'll go alone.
Boss, what are you... There's no need for that.
We can't afford to lose anyone else.
We have no idea what's going on in there.
Exactly. Anyone still alive's at their breaking point. Last thing we need is another unit storming in. No telling how they'd react.
Fine. First off, check how much the infection has spread. Rescue comes next, after we know the situation. When you're ready to move, just use the iDroid.
Continua.